Money. All of us know that money is important. We also know that for a good financial future, our hard-earned money should be invested and it should grow over time. However, not all of us are interested in finance. Many of us have different interests. Some of us like gaming, reading, traveling. So, is there an easy way to invest and have a good financial future? Fear not, my friends, there's a way. So there are two ways to manage a portfolio. You can get into the weeds and manage your portfolio actively, or you can be hands-off and manage it passively. This is Jake Investments, and thank you for joining me in this video. By the way, topics covered in my videos are just my opinion and not financial advice. So if you have been noticing recently, YouTube is filled with financial videos. This kind of create the impression that everyone is actively managing their portfolio, buying and selling stocks every day, picking stocks, researching stocks. In reality, most people don't do this and are not even remotely interested in researching companies and keeping up with all the latest updates in the financial space. And to a large extent, even people who are actively managing their portfolio does not research stocks. Rather, they just go with what is popular, right? You hear that from some news, or you hear from a blog, you hear from a stock picking guru, or you hear it from CNBC. Most people actively manage the portfolio in that way. So considering all these facts, for most people, the easiest way to be involved in the financial market is by passively managing their portfolio. And the math is on your side as well, or is on the side of passively managing the portfolio. For a group of people, for a population, passive investment massively outperforms active investment. Let me prove this to you. So this is a thought experiment. So something that you can think through and see whether it works or not. Assume we have two groups with 100 investors each. Each individual has a different background. Some are college educated, some are high school educated, some are technically educated, some are doctors, some are mechanics, a diverse bunch of people. You get the idea. One group invested passively in the SPX 500 index. All of them invested $10,000 and add $500 every month. Now let's calculate their portfolio after 35 years, a typical working life. Historical return of SPX index is anywhere from 8 to 10% based on the time frame that you're looking at. So let's use the lower number of 8%. So after 35 years, all of them will have $1,181,000 in their portfolio. The best part is, even though these are individuals with different backgrounds, different biases, different political beliefs, different personal beliefs, none of them affect the investment because the index don't care. All of them invested in the same index. So because of that, all 100 of them are millionaires, right? So now let's look at the second group. Some of them were invested in Apple because this is an actively managed group, right? So some of them invested in Microsoft, a combination of Disney, Johnson & Johnson, etc. So these few people in the second group would have massively outperformed the first group because all these stocks did really good. And their individual portfolio can be anywhere from $2 million to $5 million. But you have to remember, we selected a diverse group of people. 30 years back, today's mighty Apple was a failing company. So if you look in 1995, Apple was about to get into bankruptcy. So it is highly unlikely that anyone invested in Apple in 1996. In fact, Apple only started gaining ground, at least in terms of stock market, in 2009. And 30 years before, there were other superstars in the market in terms of stocks. Think of the people with their biases, their background, familiarity with the sector, who invested in Lehman Brothers or WorldCom or General Motors or Enron Corporation or CAT Group. All of these companies no longer exist. All of them went bankrupt. At the time of bankruptcy, Lehman Brothers was worth $69 billion, so it was not a small company. WorldCom was worth $103 billion, just second after AT&T. General Motors was $82 billion company. Enron Corporation was $65 billion company. Some of these companies went into bankruptcy in a matter of weeks, especially Lehman Brothers. So many people don't even have the time to react or make changes to their portfolio. So even in a best case scenario, it is fairly easy to estimate that at least 25% of the second group, or 25 people in the second group, would have had some of these companies in their portfolio, right? So it is clear that all these 25 people will have never made it to that 1 million mark as the first group. So in the first group is clearly the winners, right? Because all of them are millionaires, 100% of them are millionaires. In the second group, few massively outperformed, they are multimillionaires, but many others completely lost their money or severely underperformed and did not become millionaires. So this is why when you think in the long term, for most people, a passive index strategy is the best. And of course, this view is supported by many industry heavyweights like Warren Buffett. So now you'll have a question, what is a good index fund to follow? In my personal opinion, I would go with SPY or VOO from Vanguard or VTI. I'll get in depth with the above ETFs in the next video. Also, I can suggest a strategy for people who like to be passively active. That means you still like to be involved a little bit in your portfolio, but still you want to stick with the general safety of a passively managed portfolio. We'll do that in the next video. So before I conclude this video, let's also go over my portfolio performance for the last week. So a week before, I had 124K in my account, and last week I had a balance of 122K. So almost a $2,000 loss in my portfolio. But so to be exact, it's $2,309 loss. But if I compare it with the SPX index, which I am benchmarking myself against, my loss was 1.86% against 1.96 loss for SPX index. So I still consider that as a win. I still hold 8 stocks and 31 ETFs in my portfolio, plus the option contracts. And if you look at the overall performance of my portfolio, it's really good. So year to date, I'm up 16.34% against a gain of 2.99% in the SPX index. And overall, I'm up 92.31% versus 32.71 for SPX index. So this is for a period from September 7, 2018 to last Friday. And in terms of my annualized returns, it is 36.92%. So I would say that considering the dip in the market last week, I did not do really bad. So for now, I'm planning to keep my portfolio as it is, the structure as it is. Looks like it's doing good when the market is going up, and when the market is coming down, it's relatively stable. I've explained the stocks and ETFs that I hold in my portfolio in the previous video. So if you want to see that, you can look it up. That's all I have for today, folks. Hope you are having a wonderful time. Until next video, ciao.